Wow. I did not realize. Sorry about that. What's up, y'all? What? I can't hear myself. Hold on. I just messed up. There it is. Whoa. 1 second. Oh boy. What am I doing? What are we doing here? Anyway. What up, y'all? It's R9cast, Fish, Blood, Dish, Congo, Crystal. Super dope show for ElectronBandit.com, representing all things fair in the world. Good? Are we looking for good or are we looking for fair? I say fair. Fair seems the best road to travel. But fair may be just a perception. One person's fair is another person's injustice. Right? I don't know. I lose my train of thought real quick, so that's why I'm not a public speaker. And I don't have a photographic memory. Let me shut that music off. So, yeah. Memorizing stuff, that's bad because I'm writing rhymes and stuff and I got all these songs and I'm like, I can't remember. I can't remember any of those. So I'm like, perform what? I'll be lip syncing them bad boys. I'll be lip syncing the raps. You know you bad when you got lip sync raps. That's me. Now if I had to, I would memorize them. I'd be like ginkgo biloba all day long. Ginkgo biloba steak, ginkgo biloba eggs, ginkgo biloba cereal, ginkgo biloba ice cream, ginkgo biloba iced water, ginkgo biloba juice, ginkgo, just on everything. I mean, what can't you put it on? That's my question. What can't you put it on? Who knows? I'm going to talk about one thing today, and then I'm going to talk about another thing today. Now, the first thing is Xbox related. Ninja Gaiden related. Itagaki related. And then the other thing is Star Wars. Star Wars. Not The Mandalorian or nothing, because, we tired of that. That's old news already, you know what I mean? That show's over. We done watched it. Nobody cares. Except for Kaijiro. He's like 1,000 years behind. So it's like, yay. Oh, I'm on that's the next episode I'm about to watch. You just spoiled it. Like, hey, look, man. It's all there. Just because you like to wait every week, like you wait 5, I don't know. Look, I'm sorry. But it's like, it's kind of both Xbox news if you want to think about it that way. If you want to talk about it, think about it that way. It's all Xbox news. Itagaki, Star Wars. The reason why the Star Wars is news, Xbox news, is because somebody's making a new Star Wars game. I'm sorry. That's Indiana Jones. I got Lucasfilm Arts all over the place. Lucasfilm Arts, Lucasfilm Games. That's what it's called. So I got confused. It's all Lucasfilm. Anyway, so Indiana Jones. We're going to talk about that too. That's Xbox news because somebody's making an Indiana Jones game. Bam! It's crazy. If you want to be part of the show, if you If you want to be in the chat and go plang, 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 like that, you can go to twitch.tv/R9cast, or you can go, I'm sorry, I'm making the microphone noise, or you can go to YouTube. You can go to my channel on YouTube, which is Electron Bandit. I'm tired. See, yesterday, all right, first, today, I put up a picture on Instagram and Facebook, not Facebook, wow, I never go to Facebook, Twitter. We just got the first 2 tomatoes off our tomato plant, son. Yo, let me tell y'all something. Y'all go to the store, oh, I'm buying organic tomatoes. Oh, wow, black. Yo, grow your own tomatoes. I don't care if you're in an apartment. You could grow your own tomatoes in your apartment. You could grow them in an apartment. Just have one tomato plant. Get a couple of tomatoes. Delicious. It's so good and tasty. I ate it, right? And I was like, yo, why is this like the best? Not because we grew it, because I was like, whatever. I expect it to taste like trash because I'm not a farmer. But I was like, yo, this is the best tomato. This is the best tomato. This is the best. Why do I sound Indian? This is the best tomato I ever done taste. It was a cherry tomato, so it was so sweet. I was like, yo, it's not even like soury or juicy or nothing. It was like perfectly picked off the vine, perfectly ripened. So good. All in my body. Yum, yum. Bridget had one and I had one. And she was like, oh, what? You're going to cut it? You gonna cut it? Ew, you gonna cut it? I was like, yeah, I mean, I cut half of mine and you cut half of yours and then we have half of each one so we can, and she just swallowed it real quick. I was like, how dare you? I was trying to share our spoils together and she just ate it and she was like, no, this is good. No, she said it just like, okay, she didn't say it like that, but she was like, yo, it is good. It was good. But I cut it in half because I wanted to see what the seeds look like. I want to see the whole innards and stuff. She didn't care. She's just farmer's daughter or farmer's niece when she just be like, yep, that's a good one. Next. It's like, we only got one. So I sliced it. I was like, oh, okay, like look, like kind of, I was studying the textures and the fiber patterns and stuff, and how many seeds, and the seeds look real good. I was like, yo, them seeds are like juicy seeds. You don't like, you ever cut into a tomato and you look at the seeds and say, wow, those are some big seeds? No, you cut it and you're like, I'm gonna eat the seeds too, and you eat it, and then that's it. These seeds, for some reason, because I was looking for them, and I was like, wow, okay. And I ate it. And I was like, oh, wow. It was like, it was the perfect amount of moisture in the middle, right? In the middle. It was like, it's like in the middle, it wasn't like super sweet, but towards you get to the ends and the outside towards the peel and stuff, so like super sweet. I was like, yeah. And I ate it up. Aloha, legend. Hope everything is doing okay with you and your fam in Hawaii. Happy Sunday, I guess. But yeah, so we have cherry tomatoes and we got regular. I don't know what the other tomatoes are. I gotta ask Bridget to ask her dad to ask his brother, because her uncle Serge. No, it's not. It's Noel. She has like 59 uncles. I don't remember. He's got a farm in Canada. That's where we got the contraband. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell Monsanto that we got Canadian tomato seeds, because the feds be knocking on our door like, don't you pollute America with these damn Canadian seeds. I'm like, come on, get out of here. I said get out of here. I don't care if you from the federal government. Well, on the 20th it'll matter, because then I'll be like, oh, it's different president. Okay, it matters now, but before then it don't matter. It's like 3 days away. Before then, don't care. It don't count until the 20th. Anyway. Good tomatoes. So the next crop, we have 5 plants. The next crop we have 47. We had 47, but we ate 2 of them, so we have 45 now. I count them every day. I'm like looking for little baby sprouts. Like, oh, there's one. Oh. Because not all the flowers give you a tomato. Some of them do. Some plants. The cherry tomatoes are super. Yeah, they put out a lot of numbers because I guess the fruits are so small, so they have more energy to spread for more fruits. But the bigger tomatoes, not so much. But maybe it's. I mean, we're not feeding it anything special like food or anything, which we probably should. But the way we planted it. We have a well, so we planted it right next to. We have an outdoor shower, and we also have the well where the backwash when it regenerates every night. And it gets both of those. Like if I'm taking a shower, I do washing all the bleep bleep blue blue, all that goodness off of my body goes into the tomatoes. And I told her, I was like, you eating all of this, girl. That's what I fed the tomatoes. It's all this goodness. It tastes good, right? She's like, no, you taste good. She was disgusted, but it still tastes good though. Just the image in her mind of my body feeding the tomatoes. She was like, I don't know how to feel about that. It's too delicious. I can't. I was like, I don't care. And her pop said this good. The soap actually helps the plants for some reason. You would think the other way around. Like, I mean, I'm not using bleach on my body or anything. It's not killing the plants, but whatever. So something in the soap helps. I don't know. I don't know. We got crazy worms over there. They were like, hey, when I was prepping the area, they was like, hey, what are you doing? There was so many worms. I was like, wow, I don't. Earthworms. I mean, yeah, there are worms here, obviously, but yeah, it was. I never. Well, whenever I dug in the ground, it was always sandy, or it's like, oh, I gotta dig a post hole because I gotta put a post in the ground because I'm building fences all the time. And I never saw no worms be like, yo, what's going on? So I don't know. Maybe it's just the spot we picked or whatever. It's a lower part of our property. When you say property, does it feel like it's bigger than like our yard? Right? Our yard. Our property. We don't have a lot. We don't have a lot of property. Anyway. So I didn't even look it up. I should pop on. I should pop on and get some articles for what I was talking about. So it is there it is. Tomonobu Itagaki. Tomonobu Itagaki. I can't even talk, son. Tomonobu Itagaki wants to be acquired. Or no, I don't think he said that. I think Tomonobu Itagaki wants to work with Xbox, right? So let me switch. Let's get into the meat already. Wait, that's the wrong size. Hold up. I switched my giant TV monitor, my I guess 40-inch, whatever size that is, just does not want to work right now. So I guess it's dead. So I guess I'm gonna have to get something else or whatever. But he's got extra monitors chilling, so I'm all good. So yeah, he said this. He has a new studio, and we're honored to work with Xbox. Now, if I was an Xbox dude, right? If I was Spencer guy, if I was Philip, I'd be like, I don't know, man. Didn't he like disappear because he was touching boobies or something? Wasn't he like not a good guy with the lady boobies? Wasn't his games always got bouncing boobies and stuff? As long as he just makes Ninja Gaiden, no Dead or Alive, street, volleyball, beach volleyball, none of that. Just Ninja Gaiden, just that, or something else, Ninja. I don't know, some other word. Ninja or something. Nah, but if they do Ninja Gaiden, would it be 3 or 4? They did 1 and 2, then they had Black. No, they did 1, then Black, then 2? So it would be 3, right? Wouldn't it be 3? I don't know. But he's always been well, I don't want to say he's always been a creeper, but he's been kind of put out there as a creeper. But then again, it might have been that it was right here. However, Itagaki very publicly followed up with his employer following the release of Ninja Gaiden 2. We saw him leave the company and file a $1 million lawsuit, alleged unpaid bonuses and disingenuous statements. So, could have been fake news. Could have been that was like the beginning of kind of super cancel culture. I'd say super cancel culture. He's 53. Okay, that's not bad. I'm gonna say, I think that. Wait, did he do? Oh yeah, he did Valhalla's game. He founded Valhalla Games, developed Devil's Third, which was weird. Yeah, and he said it's not any of that. It's a brand new studio, so that's the thing. It's not Valhalla. It's not the other one that what was the Team Ninja, obviously. What was his new studio called? Blah blah blah. Sorry. It's here. It says I think it's just Itagaki Game Studios or something like that, right? I think that's what he's calling it. Let me see. It should be in here somewhere, right? He wrote back then. Come on, man. Give me the information. Key. Wait, did I pass? Team Ninja will announce multiple games. No. That's. How come I can't? Okay. My brain stopped working. My brain just stopped working. But, yeah, I think it's Itagaki Game Studios or something like that. But this is what he said. But Itagaki said he'd be honored to join up with his old partner. I would start again with questions that I made to original Xbox designer Seamus, wow, Blackley, 2 decades ago. He wrote, back then I asked him, are you confident that you will beat PS2? And he said, yes, Xbox is called Project Midway, and it'll gain the supremacy with it. Oh, that's why I trusted him and actually created Xbox exclusive games for about 10 years. 20 years have passed since then, and I established my own company, Itagaki Games. There it is. Which is not Tecmo, nor Valhalla. I know Microsoft is still aggressive. If they reach out to me, it will be an honor for me. So basically, he's looking for two things. He's looking for one of two things. He's either looking for kind of a same situation from the original Xbox days, a 10-year contract to make games, kind of like what Disney did with EA, and then now that's over. Thank God, we'll get to that. Madden, EA did that with NFL. There's all these deals. It's usually a 10-year deal, but it could be subject to if your first game, some clauses like contracts. So if your game sucks and nobody likes it, and you start touching people, then guess what? It's off. And he's like, all right, cool. I don't have to. So I just don't touch people. Just human people you're talking about, right? Yes, don't touch no human people of any age. He's like, yeah, I could do that. And he's like, yeah. I like goats. Goats are fine. Just don't do it on company time. Okay? Wait, did I just say you could touch goats? Don't touch nothing. That'd be funny. Just as cancel culture was a term invented for out-of-touch, misogynist, racist pigs. Do not promote their ignorance. Canceling things are good. Canceling things only work if what you're canceling is a bad thing, right? If the person that you're trying to cancel is evil. For instance, I mean, you're right? You're right. But it's still, I say it so that you understand what I'm talking about. Not, the nomenclature. I'm talking about the movement to cancel somebody. Whether it's what they're doing to the president, right? I mean, that guy, Trump. What they're doing to him right now. But, what's his name? Jim Jordan? Oh boy. I wish, I would be like, I'm not going to say that. I don't like him a lot. A lot of it is I don't like him. It's so hard to put into words how much I don't like him. Anyway, he brought that whole thing up during the Senate, blah, 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 right? It's like, when they came back from the freaking insurrection. Anyway, we're not talking about politics. I'm just saying he brought up the cancel culture stuff, and I'm like, and that's where Kaijiro, yes. But like I said, I was using that nomenclature only to illustrate what the movement is. And the movement is, it can happen to people who are innocent. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, I understand where it came from, but people will use it for their own gains and not necessarily towards the actual truth, And that's the problem. That's the main problem with that whole culture. I say that. But yeah, so he either wants another like 10-year deal or so, or he wants to get bought. He wants some job security, you know what I mean? So, if you Microsoft, you got a bunch of money and he's got one studio. How many people does he have? Who knows? Maybe he just filed for the company name, an LLC, and that's all he got. and he's got a computer in his crib. That's Itagaki Games, right? You know, I mean, I don't think it would be. You know what? Here's the thing. Microsoft needs somebody to take Killer Instinct over. Okay? Itagaki might be the dude. You know, you got the Japanese pedigree, right? He's freaking Dead or Alive. Hello? He could do a Dead or Alive. He could do a freaking Killer Instinct. They could do a crossover. Killer Instinct cross Dead or Alive. Killer Instinct versus Dead or Alive. Ninja Gaiden once in a while. Just turn down the booby physics a little bit. You know, just a little bit. Don't need to be crazy, but just a little bit. I mean, Street Fighter had the booby physics. Nobody cried about that. I mean, I guess, yeah, people did actually, right? They're like, oh, Street Fighter 5 sucks. It looks just like the old game. I was like, I think it looks better. I thought it looked better. I don't know, whatever. But, you know, Street Fighter 5 wasn't as good or something. I don't really know. I mean, I think it was the Sony exclusive curse. Because sometimes when they have, not first party, like third party exclusives, sometimes they, got issues. A lot of the times, actually, you got Street Fighter 5, No Man's Sky, you know. I can't think of the rest of it. But there are other ones. It's like, oh, that's a Sony exclusive. There must be something wrong. Anyway. What was it? SOCOM 4 was kind of garbage too. That's because they got hacked. But still, irregardless. But so, yeah, those are two things. He want a deal. He want a 10-year deal. Or he want to get paid. He want to get bought and paid. If I was Microsoft, I would do a deal with him. I'd be like, yo, 10 years? I'd be like, yo, well, if he took Killer Instinct, right, and kind of made it, because I ain't gonna lie, Dead or Alive is pretty dope. It's not my top, but it's not my bottom. All right, so my favorite fighting game is, what is my favorite fighting game? It's not Killer Instinct. You know, I like Soul Calibur. I played a little bit of Soul Calibur 6. I think it was yesterday. I was messing around. I was like, oh, this is. So I turned it off. I was like, oh yeah, because I was messing with the creative character stuff, and I was there for like a half an hour. I was like, oh, I'm so tired right now. Can I continue this later? It's like, no, I just turned it off. It's like, forget it. I'll just do it later. And I had Bridget. She was like that. She had I was like, yeah, boy, Bridget's gonna kick some booty. But I don't know enough about the characters. I mean, I know a little bit, but I'm like, I don't know enough to I want this person's fighting style, and I want this clothes and this and specials. I don't care. But yeah. So this is I don't know. I was bouncing in Twitter. There where everybody's like, yo, let's do this, yeah, boy. I'm like, okay. Awesome news. Basically, that was Twitter. Unfortunately, the time has rolled over this guy. From Software made it very clear how modern action RPGs, Soulborns, and hack and slash RPG Sekiro look like. After this guy left Team Ninja, he hasn't made any good game, and that's over there. Okay, first of all, this guy. First of all, Ninja Gaiden is barely an RPG. It's an action slasher game. Come on, son. Remember what the original Ninja Gaiden was. Wasn't an RPG. So take your ass, sit your ass in the corner, shut the hell up. You don't know what the hell you talking about. You don't know what the hell you talking about. Probably 12 or something. Get out here. You were 2 years old when that happened. Sorry. KJ says, mine's Tekken 7, Injustice 2, Virtua Fighter 5. They're the Trinity for me. I never really played Tekken. I've seen all the games. I've never played it though. I was like, oh, okay. I kind of liked King of Fighters because, like, which one was it? I think it was 5. It was just hand drawn and it looked kind of dope. I was like, you know what? And the other ones too. What is it? Wow, I just totally forgot the name of them. But it's the same. Is it Arc? I forgot what company makes it, but they made the last Dragon Ball Fighters. They made that game. They make the other games too. I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. Legend says, I'm not really saying anything because I agree with everything you're saying. Okay. That's all good, Legend. It's all good. Itagaki and Xbox. It would be awesome. Hey, Phil, bring him on board. Yeah, okay. Yeah, pretty much. That face, though. Let's go here. Ah, yes. Look at the... Oh. I remember Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden. However you want to say it. Ninja Gaiden. For the original Xbox. And I played that, right? And I was like, yo, how come this game looks like way better than all the other games? How come it's so fast and smooth? This is crazy. How they doing this on the Xbox while other games is just like struggling and like ooh. Meanwhile, Itagaki put some sprinkle juice on it and like made the Xbox like, yo, okay, I could do this. And I'm like, it's mad fast and smooth and crazy. I'm like, ugh. It's hard too. It's a hard ass game. I got to the last boss, right? Something about that game that you may not know. You guys probably know. But I got to the last boss like, yeah, I'm going to get to the... Oh, it's one of them. It's one of those games that you got to fight all the bosses over again. I was like, oh, hell no. I struggled past the second to the last boss. Struggled past it. And I got to the last one, and it went all... I said, oh, my God, I can't. I just stopped. I said, I can't do this. I got to, like, 2 or 3 bosses in. I was like, I can't do this. I just can't... Nope. I can't do all the bosses in a row. And, this is not... Nope. and I deemed it. I'm not going to do it. So I couldn't do it. But my point is that on the original Xbox, Ninja Gaiden was, like, butter smooth, and it looked beautiful. It was mad. I was like, yo, this is like next gen right here. If Ninja Gaiden was like a game that were to kind of follow all the Xboxes all the way to today, that would be that's the best looking game right there. It was the best looking game on the original Xbox. And so now I'm like, how would it look on the Series X? You know what I mean? Not that game in particular, but a Ninja Gaiden. Would it be... I mean, and back then... Even now, you look at like the models. It's like, okay, this is probably the remaster, but it looked very close to this, right? So you're like, yo, this was real good for back in the day. It's still good for now. So it's like, yo, imagine that with the graphics we could do now. Be crazy nice. So I kind of have faith in him making a quality product. I probably don't have faith in him keeping his hands off the donuts. You know what I'm saying? Legend says, what if since the fighting game genre is not selling out like it used to, what if they put them on a Dark Souls type game? That would be awesome. Well, you know what? I think that's why that comment was kind of, but sure, is that they could make the next Ninja Gaiden, like Ninja Gaiden 3 or whatever they want to call it, and they could create it in a way, especially with the new hardware, make it a next-gen exclusive, and so it can have a giant world. And it would be like Dark Souls. It would be like a Metrovania, Castlevania, Metroidvania. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't want to make the comparison of a Souls game because Dark Souls and all those Souls games have animation priorities. And I hate animation priorities in the game. I hate them. I hate them a lot because it throws off the rhythm. The thing about Ninja Gaiden is it's like rhythm. It's like boom, 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 right? But if you got a big boss and he's like swinging his axe, you can't stop him because didn't the animation already started? You're done. That doesn't work with Ninja Gaiden. So stuff like if they make a Souls game and don't use that animation priority hot garbage stuff and have the big bosses, and because I believe there were big bosses in the original Ninja Gaiden. I never played the second one, but or did I? I don't remember. I should have actually. I don't have my Xbox hooked up because I kind of redid my studio a little bit. But anyway, I think that might be actually the way that they go anyway. Because if you remember the original Gaiden, the original Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox was linear for the most part. Wait, could you go back? I'm trying to remember. Wow. It was linear, and I mean there wasn't that much to it, really. It was you go around, you kill the dudes. Yeah, I think there was some collectible stuff, but it really wasn't that heavy on RPG stuff. I didn't. What did you have to collect? Some, I don't remember, but they could easily adapt Ninja Gaiden to a Souls like, but make it better, I think. Because if you look at Sekiro, you look at all the Souls games, they're all the same with different freaking graphics. It's the same game. It's the same game, and that's how people are like, oh no, I love it. This, I mean, y'all just love the same stuff, I guess. I mean, if that was an Xbox exclusive, if that was on Xbox, Demon Souls and all that, would there be such a big deal? I mean, actually, Itagi, was it Itagi? Otagi. I'm messing up the name, but it was an Xbox exclusive, the original Xbox, and I have it. Otogi, I think it's Otogi. Anyway, it was I have the first one backwards compatible. I could play. You can play it on your Xbox One and part Series X, I would assume. And the second one I played the demo, I was like, yo, this is way better, but I never got it, so I never. Kai just says, I had a love-hate with one of those Ninja Gaiden games. I had it for Nintendo or Super Nintendo. I only played it because it was so annoying to try to beat. I wanted to beat it just because it made me mad. I never beat it, though. Yeah, those games have always been crazy hard. And the Ninja Gaiden version for the original Nintendo, I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, nah, nope. Now, wouldn't even, nope. Went back to Shinobi. I always liked Revenge of Shinobi was my favorite. I mean, I played the original Shinobi in arcade. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I like it because I was a Sega fanboy. So I was like, anything you make Sega, I'm a love. But I played Revenge of Shinobi. I was like, yeah, this is better than Shinobi. But after that, like Shadow Dancer, I played that, but I was like, it's not, it doesn't feel the same, Because I think it was a different team. And then they had, I think they had Shinobi 3? And that was like, yeah, I wasn't feeling that. Even though like the graphics were better and stuff, I was like, nah, I don't care. Legend says the real difference between Ninja Gaiden and Dark Souls, I believe, is Dark Souls is passable with a lot of hard work, and you might put all the energy into the world, and Ninja Gaiden and into the world and into Ninja Gaiden and not get past the fifth boss if someone could hold Itagaki to the fire and not make an impossible game, but the challenging game that rewards you for getting better at games. I think it would be a hit and a benefit to the platform. I don't know if the Ninja Gaiden games are actually harder than the Souls games, because they're like hard in a different way, if that makes sense. Like Ninja Gaiden is fast paced, like Twitch. It's almost like Twitch reaction. It's like a Twitch, not beater, slasher. What is Ninja Gaiden? A ninja slasher? It's hard to. It's super fast paced, right? So that's the thing. I think it's the difference between like a slow prodding animation priority type of game where you see the animation happening, you press the dodge button and you're good. And that's kind of like the loop, like, oh, he's coming to get me, dodge, and then slash, dodge, slash, right? Ninja Gaiden is like slash, 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 whoo, slash, slash. It's like different. It's not, in that respect, harder. Yep, it's harder. But, I don't know. I'd have to go back and play that Ninja Gaiden. Now you got me curious-ized about that. But yeah, so that was that news story. Itagaki. Why is he? That was a younger picture. That's probably more recent, right? Wow. I never seen him without his sunglasses. Anyway, that's him. So that's that. So we got Itagaki, and then we got well, I guess we're done with Itagaki, right? I just hope I mean, it's an opportunity. I think they could do something. But the problem is, here's the problem, is that it's 0 day, right? So it would be like, oh, okay, yeah, Itagaki's want to do some stuff. Hold on, let's see if I can fix. There you go, a little bit higher. Itagaki want to do some stuff, yay, right? he got to go build a game, right? 3-4 years later, we'll have a game. Come on, that's a long ass time to be waiting. Right now, the hype is now. If he has a game if the game is done and he's like, yo, I got a game. Microsoft, what's up? Got a new studio, got a game. What's going on? It's hot. It's Ninja Gaiden 3. It's not Ninja Gaiden 3 because he doesn't own the property. But I'm just saying, it's what, but that's not the case. So it's all waiting. And people are like, wait the games. We got to wait. It's like, yeah, y'all been waiting for 7 years. You've been waiting for 10 years. It's all in the tools, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you can't snap your fingers in the games. You can't snap your fingers, then The Last of Us 2 pops up. No, you got to 7 years later. I think it was a 7 years, so at least 5. I know it was at least 5. I think it was 7 years they made. Took to make that. 7 years. The first Last of Us was a PS3 game. Don't forget that the first Last of Us was a PS3 game. The Last of Us Part 2 came out at the end of last generation. A whole generation. So these games, they can't make them in a weekend like they used to back in the day. Atari ET, 3 weeks, no problem. Not how it work no more. So, yeah, that's the only thing. So, but if they get him to work on, like I said, the Killer Instinct stuff, that would be the smartest thing. I'd be like, yeah, all right, come on in. He has Itagaki Games. Itagaki Games. So he could put his name on it, and then he could put the actual studio who makes it, because Itagaki Games, I would believe, is just him. Legend says Microsoft should have picked him up 7 years ago. Nah, it was too much. It was too much heat on him at that point. They were just like, let him cool off. And it's been a minute, right? So it was like, okay. Nobody's really thinking about that. We got other things on our mind, so And he was saying it's BS, but who knows? Who really knows? I don't know. So, and that's the thing. Like, they might know something. Like, Microsoft knows. Like, yeah, nah, this dude, nope. He was nope. Can't. Nope. Sorry. So, then it's a good thing that they don't get him. Who knows? But whatever. The other thing that we will talk about, the other two things, is the Star Wars. No, that's not it. It is Lucas Film Games. Oh wait, do they have a There it is. Bam, Lucasfilm Games. Yeah. Have what's the name? Smeagol. Not Smeagol. From the cantina singing Lucasfilm Games. Yeah. There's a sizzle reel for what? Is that the Indiana Jones thing or no? Oh, this is just CG. Yo, you saw them next gen graphics? Look at them graphics. Okay, nobody wants to play Lego Star Wars, man. I hate when they put that in there. It's yeah. A lot of I saw this. Never mind. I'm not gonna watch it anymore because they showed like all the stupid that goofy game, The Sims and Star Wars stuff. I was like, I don't care. How's it the Lego games looking all good? Look how good that looks. Like, them trees look pretty good. But then it's like Lego. Come on, son. Put some Lego trees in there. Legend says, they could have kept them on the payroll. The man is a video game. That is true. But if that leaked out, that Microsoft was paying him, and he was accused of this and that and the third, that would make them bad, and bad press is bad press, and any press is good press, but nah, they don't need no bad press. So, yeah. I played this game. It's really good. And they got the new, the upgrades for the next-gen consoles. So I was like, oh, snap. I think the Xbox One is better. It's like the PS4, the PS5 is locked at 1200p. Meanwhile, the Xbox Series X is dynamic up to 1440p. And everything else is the same, basically, like frame rate and all, and performance. So I'm like, you can't get the highest fidelity graphics on the PlayStation. So technically, the Xbox version is better. Technically. but whatever. Kaiju said Ubisoft is worse than EA when it comes to making games now. They tie their games to always online and they make you sign into their website. The better the graphics on the game, the more tied down and limits you gonna find. Yeah. Generally, as a broad statement, I would agree with that. Yeah, I'd agree with that. But I'm kind of interested in the open world Star Wars game by Ubisoft, because Ubisoft is like, they're like the kings of open. I mean, as much as you may hate the formula that they have created and run into the ground, right? Assassin's Creed. It's a good formula. The only reason why we're talking shite about it is because we are tired of the formula. We're like, it's the same formula. Oh, it's Assassin's Creed, but with this. Watch Dogs is just Assassin's Creed with drones and stuff and hacking. All right? Honestly, Watch Dogs should have been Assassin's Creed Techno Time or Assassin's Creed 2027. Ooh, 2077. Ooh. But that's what 2077 is, right? Cyberpunk. Even Cyberpunk. If Cyberpunk was third person, would it be Assassin's Creed? No, it would be more like Grand Theft Auto. That's what it kind of is. Clunky, junky. Anyway, we're not talking about that. Kaijudo says, Kaijudo says, I noticed this with EA and Ubisoft games. They do server stuff now? Now. Most of their open world games run by servers now, so you have to stay plugged in online. Look at the crew and steep. Well, those are multiplayer focused games, though. But you're right, though. They do have to kind of attach to the server for kind of certain, I guess a certain, kind of just the way that it works. Like, if you have somebody come into your game on Watch Dogs, they had, that was the first one, though. I don't know how they're doing it on Legion. Okay, just as games would be cool as AF. If they were offline play, you can play Steep offline, but it's naked. Nope. Not just multiplayer game. Yeah. You have to sign into EA. Not EA. Uplay. I totally forgot what it was called. But it's for me, I'm like, whatever, I don't care. Boop, boop, boop. As long as the game isn't hindered by the online connection. Like some games, like I think it's Forza Horizon, is also that like online, because everything's like kind of community driven. Whether it's the new Super 7 stuff where you could build like tracks and stunt loops and all kind of stuff in Forza Horizon, and there's a giant library of user made stuff, and you go in and play with everybody's stuff, and it's cool. That's where the online stuff comes in. It's like, oh, okay. Or when you're just like free roaming, you'll see other players in your map, in your instance, basically, and they're just driving around. You can flash them and race them and stuff, and so it works for that game, and it doesn't take you, like, usually I'm not even playing like online, or I'm not even I'm just playing single player on Forza Horizon, and it works exactly the same, and they actually have like kind of AI, like I'll see Derek H driving around my map, but I know he's not playing. It'll just be his drivatar basically, so it's kind of cool. Legend says the folks keep talking about this open world Star Wars game, but the ink ain't even dry on the deal. That stuff won't be out till your kids are grown playing it on PlayStation 6. PlayStation 6 is coming out in like 2 years, so it takes forever and a day to come out with an open world game. I imagine an open world Star Wars game will take forever and forever, and a day and another day, and if you're lucky, the game may come out with won't literally be Cyberpunk. Yeah, because you says. You say whatever, but when you find out all your games are just rental due to always online, you'll see it not that great to have all your games running on a server that can be cut anytime. Well, yeah, you could buy games. Well, I mean, like some games, I agree with you. Yes. But like Game Pass, right? I mean, you could say the same about Game Pass, but you can buy the games from Game Pass. It's a digital library, but they're not on a server. They're on your console, basically. No, not basically. They're on your console. You buy it, they're on your console. Or you could just not buy it, pay for Game Pass, and play it and delete it and not have it. It's up to you. Kaiju says they can make an overall Star Wars game, long as they stay away from trying to do an epic movie-like story. Just let you do what you want, GTA style. Think about it this way, right? This is Ubisoft, right? Ubisoft, they make Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is the foundation of how Ubisoft makes the game. If you look at every game that they putting out, the AAA games, the open world games, they're all Assassin's Creed. They're all Assassin's. You look at Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed. It's Assassin's Creed, and they go Watch Dogs, Beyond Good and Evil 2. Beyond Good and Evil 2, even though it's never coming out, is Assassin's Creed with monkey people. And what's her name's daughter? Because she's old now, Jade. The investigative report, whatever, the picture taker. It's so, as Assassin's Creed open world as a foundation, we can say, okay, we can pull out of the ether some possible scenarios of what a game that Ubisoft would make in the Star Wars universe open world. Kaiju says, no, I'm talking about game content is on a server. Once you take the game offline, you either have to have just a disc you can use or a very bare bones game with a lot of limits. Like what game are you talking about in specific? And because the last Ubisoft open world game was the one I played was Assassin's Creed Origins. And I mean, I've always been online, so I don't think I ever had that issue. Well, I've never experienced the offline version, if that makes sense. Because you says those lazy asses ain't gonna think about the box with Star Wars. Think out of the box with Star Wars game. Look at the Crew 2. Look at Steve. Look at Watch Dogs 2. I mean, I would say the Crew 2 and Steep are more multiplayer focused. Although the Crew 2, actually no, I don't think the Crew 2 is. The Crew 2, but I think the Crew 2. Okay, I agree with what you're saying as far as like how they put too much online in their games. Yes, but foundationally speaking, the Crew 2 was kind of like it was super ambitious, and I was like, oh, that would be cool if you could just turn from a plane to a boat to a car. Yeah, and then they did it, and I was like, oh yeah, but it's not. Something's not right. Either the driving's not that good, or it was weird. No, they don't. They can be offline games. No, they're not. Wait, what? But anyway, yeah, I agree. They can be, especially like a Star Wars open world single player game doesn't need to be like. Is Phoenix what's that damn game called? Phoenix Rising. Blah blah blah. They used to be Gods and Monsters. Is that online or is that just offline? Because that game like that, I would assume is like there's no multiplayer on that. It's just a game that you play. It's just a Zelda clone that's supposedly pretty good. I might have to check that one out. So I agree. I don't think they need to do stuff like that. And also, I think that since Disney formed Lucasfilm Games, they're doing that in order to kind of watch over these companies because of what EA did to Battlefront, and all that loot box stuff. And you know what? Maybe it was Disney that was like, yo, make us some money. But when it comes down to it, it's up to Disney. So if see, it's hard for me. Like I would give Disney credit of being they know what they shouldn't do. I'm like, I don't think they do. I don't know who's the guy at Lucasfilm Games that's making the decisions, so I can't say. No multiplayer online game. No multiplayer online. Yeah, I agree. So okay, so let's pull from what a open world Star Wars game could be. First, I think they should make. I'm not saying that Ubisoft should do this, but as far as an open world Star Wars game, it should be single player. We all agree. At least the main thrust of it, the main single player part of it. You could do a Star Wars online or whatever multiplayer. Do that as a separate, just like GTA Online. Do the same thing. Star Wars Online, whatever. I think they already have that, but whatever. Phoenix Rising is no multiplayer online game. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Kaiju says, I saw Mando the ep before the last ep of the season. Oh my lord, that had some great action scenes with those bomb dudes. Luke at the end was cool, but I wish we had more Luke interacting with the others. Well, it was hard because it wasn't really him. The bomb dudes. Well, I don't remember the episode before the last episode. All right, so I'm trying to think. Wow. All right, so they went. Oh yeah, it was with what's his name? With Bill Burr, right? And they were with the trucks, and they were driving with the fuel. Was that the one before? No, that wasn't the one before. That was a good episode too. Like I said, this whole season was dope. Anyway, back to the multiplayer Star Wars. So, what can we glean from a Ubisoft Star Wars game? So let's imagine in our wildest dreams that it's a single player offline game for the most part. Online optional, offline you can still play it. It's fine. Let's look at Assassin's Creed as a foundation, right? You got an open world. It's a pretty big space, pretty big area. Although Beyond Good and Evil 2 might change that, because how they were making that game was basically how they did Jedi Fallen Order, where it was just a bunch of sandboxes, like really big sandboxes that were connected with the ship. So different planets basically connected with the ship. Now they could still do this, right? As Star Wars. So like say you're in the galaxy of Star Wars, obviously, whatever the galaxy is called. I don't know what the galaxy is called. Don't ask me. You can tell me if you want to. I don't know. But imagine if whenever this takes place, Coruscant is still there, right? You got Coruscant, you got Tatooine at the Outer Rim, you got Hoth, you got all these other planets, you got whatever, Dagobah, I don't even know any other planet, whatever, Jakku, you got all these planets, right? And you can go to, let's say, Coruscant, and it's a giant, huge open world just on Coruscant, and then you can be like, all right, let's go to Tatooine or whatever. And you go to Tatooine, and there's Mos Eisley, and then there's some other stuff, and there's a pretty big open world. But, you can get on your ship and it loads up. And the thing is, they can do that because of the SSD stuff. So this would have to be, it have to be next gen only, right? So the hard drive stuff, they could load up these giant worlds real quick, and you won't be waiting there 1,000 years for them to load up the map. So that, as far as technically, they could do that. So they can have these giant open worlds that are connected. So the sandbox is not just a little sandbox. It's like Central Park box. It's big, So as far as like how the game is structured, it could be more like a Jedi Fallen Order as far as structure. Like hub is the ship with planets. You go to planets. You have a giant open world on each planet. That's fine. Actual open world, not like Jedi Fallen Order where it's super linear, but an open world. That'd be cool. The problem with that stuff is that you get kind of, I was gonna say you get kind of limited, but I think, like, I'm thinking about like Red Dead Redemption 2, and you think about like how Arthur, he's kind of like, I think it's their animation system. They're still using that same animation system that they came up with a long time ago, where it's really I don't want to say complex, but the way they have their IK systems on the animation on the skeletons and stuff is more realistic than just regular crazy ragdolling. So like when it goes to, well, like when it walks up the stairs, they had it in GTA 4 too. That's where they first used it. And they're walking upstairs, and it actually, it does it automatically. They don't have to actually animate it. And what's the other game? Game Breaker or something like that? Backbreaker. I can't remember what it's called, but they used that same animation system where they didn't actually have to animate it. It was all procedural, if that makes sense, based on the IK, which is inverse kinetics, how they set it up. Anyway, so we'll have it has to be a ship. We have to have access to a ship. Now, I'm not saying it is going to be any particular character or ship, but we got to have the ship, right? It's got to be I would say one main character. We could, like Kajito says, KOTOR would have been a great open world sandbox Star Wars game, but the RPOB with Star Wars is every dev wants to make their own Star Wars movie with what they feel is a great story. They forget the gamer and having fun. I would love for Rockstar to do a sandbox Mando game. Yeah, like if Mando was well, actually, you know what? I mean, Mando's cool. I love Mando. I love Mando in the context of the kid, of Grogu, and of him growing and stuff. But I think that Mando should stay in his lane, which is on Disney Plus as a show. I think we need somebody new. Okay, we need a new protagonist, and we need him to be, or her. We need this person. I would prefer a female, only because Star Wars feels of the time when it was created, which was in the 70s, but it harkened back to earlier times because that's what George Lucas was making. He was making a 1930s serial or whatever, and back then, damsels in distress and all this stuff, princesses in white, the hero, the savior, the knight in shining armor with the sword, blah, 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 bad guy in black. Tropes, right? So I'm not saying that has followed through, but that is the history of Star Wars. That's where it began, right? That's what he created in the beginning. And the evolution of like Leia's character into like a powerful general, a boss, if you will, has changed that. And it seems like if you look at a lot of the games that at least Microsoft is coming out with, a lot of female protagonists. You got Joanna Dark. I mean, she was female anyway, but they're making that game, so she is the protagonist, right? So you got Joanna Dark. You got other games. I don't know the other games. But I'm just saying, like having a big macho man protagonist is kind of out of fashion. And honestly, I don't play like Cyberpunk. I'm gonna play the female. I'm gonna play the female. I want to play the dude because of the romantical kind of stuff, but that's the only reason. But I want to play the female because I think I like her voice acting better than the male. I don't know when I'm gonna play that game because whatever. But yeah. Okay, just says no. I mean, like Mando when it comes to charm and action, it's fun. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, yes, and that's the thing. That's writing. Get the right writers. They can write some good little quips and stuff. Even, I mean, I don't know if you played Jedi Fallen Order. That's a pretty good game. The protagonist, he's like, whatever. But everybody else, like the pilot dude, he's a cool little guy. He's like, oh, yeah. And it's pretty good. I was like, okay. This for Respawn, first-person shooter dudes who never did a third-person game. This ain't bad. I mean, like I said, the animation, I'm going to say it again. The animation of Cal Keston, his running animation, kind of not great. That's the only thing. The problem with it is that that's all you see that 1,000,000,000% of the game. That's what it is. You see him running, and he's like, bow-legged and string bean boy. I'm like, oh boy, this guy's. Oof. That's the only thing that's wrong with that game. Kaji says, nah, I haven't even played that other Star Wars story game. Forgot the name. I have part 2. It sits on my PC. What other? Not Battlefront. Did you get Battlefield 2 from Epic? No, I don't care about that. I don't even play on my PC, so I was like, I'm not even gonna. not even gonna bother. The game you play, Vader. Whatchamacallit? Wow. Why did I just forget it too? Force Awakens. The Force Awakens. Wow. That's not it. The shoot. Holy crap. I know what you're talking about though. I have the second one on I think did I download the first one or the second one? The Force. It's something the Force, right? The Force Awakens. Yeah, I know. It is wow. Let's do it this way. 369. I wish it was called that. The Force Unleashed. There you go. Yeah, Force Unleashed. All right, so all right, so open world. It really is about the writing. It really is about, like, if they could somehow take what The Witcher 3 was and how you have a lot of kind of side characters and side stories, side missions, even, as much as jank as Skyrim is, because I actually downloaded Skyrim again and started playing it again because I was like, let me check out these mods, and I found some mods that made the people not as ugly, and I was like, this game ain't bad now with the people ain't distractingly ugly in it. You get, man, I hated Skyrim because you be like, get to the, and then you see this ugly lady, and she's supposed to be pretty. She's like the king's daughter, and I'm like, nah, no, the dragons look better than you, girl. I'm sorry, it's not your fault. I'm just saying your maker did you wrong. Just saying, he didn't break the mold. You were the first one. You were the first one he made. Anyway, Kaijudo says, it's still cool to get Battlefront on P in case you one day get a super high end. Yeah, I guess you get to keep it free forever. That's true, too. They have mods to fix all the ugly people. Yeah. And the mods that are on PC are also, for the most part, if the modders do it on Xbox as well. So I got this one mod that makes all the ladies kind of like, bam, like thick, like pogs. I was like, what? And the face is pretty, and so I was like, wow, this ain't bad. And they walking like, oh, it's not. I was like, okay. Because I was watching this one YouTuber. He doesn't do Skyrim anymore. He's Henry, and his girlfriend is Jeannie, and they're sitting there just looking at videos and reacting and stuff. And that's what they do now. But he used to do all Skyrim mod stuff. Like, he would used to just say, oh, they have a new mod, and he would go there and make a funny video about it. And that's where I first saw it. And that was years ago. It was on PC, and it was like the Lady Looks Better mod, or whatever it's called. I can't remember. And they had that same mod is on Xbox. I was like, oh, okay. And I put it on there. I was like, oh, okay. The problem is like there's it's like a skimpy wardrobe mod for the ladies too, and I'm like, oh boy, I gotta get the right armor because I don't want my lady being all super naked or nothing. But some of it's kind of cool. I was like, okay, that's not bad. But some of it's like barely got clothes on. I'm like, okay, I mean, sure. But anyway, yeah. But back to this Star Wars game that will maybe be a Ubisoft game. So, what do we say? So, Assassin's Creed is the basis. We can say a ship. You'll have a ship go from planet to planet. That makes sense. Unless it's a more smaller contained on one planet. But let's assume it's multiple planets and all that stuff, right? Kind of like Fallen Order. But Kaijudo, you should play that because it's kind of like a Dark Souls type of game. Even though I don't like those games. But it's like that except Star Wars, but better. And it's like, that's pretty dope. And the second sister, when she comes out, she's like one of the bad guys. I was like, okay. Like they opened up a kind of a mythos, if you will, of the Empire that they never talked about, at least, I mean, because I don't read the comic books or any of the books, but they had the second sister and a couple of other ones that are fallen Jedi, basically. So they're like Jedi, or they're Padawans who were taken from the Jedi and turned into the Sith Inquisitor. Was she Inquisitor? She might have been an Inquisitor. But yeah, and her name was, I guess they just referred to her as the second sister. Anyway, it's pretty dope. I was like, I kind of like how this kind of evolved. It kind of opens up the mythos for someone like me who's like not super deep into the lore, and it's just like Sith and apprentice and then Jedi and Padawan and stuff. It's more, it's more stuff, more Inquisitors and stuff like that. I was like, okay, this is pretty dope. And even though it was Star Wars, it didn't feel like just, this is Star Wars. It felt, I mean, it's an adventure game, but it's for some reason it felt different. And I don't know if that's a credit to Respawn and how they made the game. The music is like Star Wars, straight up Star. I'm like, yo, that's not like George. That's not like John Williams did it all, but he didn't, of course. But it sounds real good. I was like, oh, fooled me. I was like, yo, get this guy to do the movies because it sound just like a John Williams type of thing without even copying it or nothing. I was like, okay, that's pretty good. Anyway, so we could have like a new protagonist, and we get the cool thing would be to have all of those old school characters from like Jedi Academy and what was it, Carl Katan, or I forget his name. All those guys kind of show up. I don't know when the timeline is, if they could show up, but that would be cool if they had a few of those. Or maybe they'll do like a Rebels type of thing. Not so much a Rebels, but in the timeline of like the end of the Rebels, or maybe during the Mandalorian. I don't know if it would be prudent to do it during the Mandalorian timeline. And that's the thing. That's one of the things is like, when is this game going to take place, right? That's a major thing, because Knights of the Old Republic was before everything, so they had the opportunity to do whatever they wanted to do. They didn't have to worry about lore or nothing. Not really. I mean, they did, but they were so far removed from the canon at the time. They didn't have to worry. It's 2005, 7,000 years, whatever it was. It's like, yeah, so long away that it didn't matter. So, I mean, you know what would be interesting, and I'm surprised nobody's thought about this, or they probably have thought about this. But what if they made a Star Wars game that was 5,000 years in the future, 5,000 years past Skywalker? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that look like? What does the technology look like? 5,000 years? That's a long time. What's the technology look like? What does what is anything? Did the Sith form and change? Did the Sith and the Jedi come together to form the Enlightened or something, and now they run the galaxy? Who knows? But that would be a more interesting, I think, game, because I'd be like, yo, that would be kind of interesting to think about. I mean, they would have to get with Disney and Lucasfilm to get permission to do what they're gonna do, but that would be, I'd play the hell out of that game. If it was an open world, if it was an open galaxy RPG set 5,000 years, 5 to 7,000 years in the future, past Skywalker, past the death of Luke Skywalker's. Well, that might change. Who knows? Past the Battle of Endor. Let's just say that. Who cares? I mean, whatever. So, it's all the same. That would be interesting. I think that would be dope. Yeah. Legend says 5,000 years past Star Wars, you'd still have NPCs talking about Luke, and they can't help themselves. That's kind of the thing, right? So there would probably be blah blah blah. There would probably be like kind of religions, and Luke would be like the whatchamacallit, the Jesus, if you will. Like, oh, the prophet Skywalker did this and that and the third, blah 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 blah. Remember, they were known as Jedi Knights, mythical beings, blah blah blah. Right? I don't know. I mean, that's funny because in A New Hope, they were like, this is religious hokey pokey, blah blah blah. That's what Han Solo was saying. But people didn't believe it then. But then would they believe it? Was it? I don't think they would, because it wasn't even Mando. Even Mando's like, Jedi, you a Jedi? He's like, he doesn't know. At that point, at that last episode, Luke could have killed everybody on that station. You say he dealt with them. He dealt with them damn dark troopers. Mando nearly got his brain scrambled. He was punching his head through the hull. The dark trooper was like, gigling, gigling, and Mando was like, ouch, ouch, ouch. And Luke was just like, crush. I'm like, come on, man. He's like, are you a Jedi? It's like, yeah, give me the kid. I ain't got time for this. He grabbed Grogu, he put him in his pocket. Let's go, G. He's like, peace out. He's only got 3 fingers, so it's like, peace out. Peace. I think Grogu should have gave somebody the finger. He's only got 3 fingers, so it would be, be easy. Anyway, so I mean that's one. So that's one thing we gotta think about. When is this game gonna take place? Now the hotness right now is the Mando timeline. 5 years after, was it 5? I think it's 5 years after the Battle of Endor, Return of the Jedi, right? That's when that's when Mando takes place, right? And so the book of Boba Fett I would assume be like the same timeline. They might do some flashbacks as to, like, I guess, well, I don't know. I don't think they need to do a flashback as to when he got out of the Sarlacc pit, but maybe Boba Fett has some PTSD a little bit from being in the pit a little bit, so he'll have some like nightmares or something. He'll be like waking up, gosh darn Sarlacc. I can't even do he's New Zealanders. He's a Kiwi. I can't do his voice. Anyway, so when is this game? Because, like, if you look at the, like, Jedi Fallen Order takes place after Revenge of the Sith. A couple of years after the Revenge of the Sith, I think. It's between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. That's when Jedi Fallen Order takes place, right? So Darth Vader's around, brand new, basically. The Sith Inquisitor, that's the new stuff. So a lot of it's still like Star Wars, like the Star Wars that we grew up with. You know what I mean? It's actually closer to the Star Wars that we grew up with than anything that's been coming out. Yeah, including Mando. But so that takes place then. Mando takes place after the original trilogy, right? So that's where they're placing these properties. So where would they? I would say that they would not put anything too soon after Mando or before the Force Awakens, because the rumors are that they're trying to reboot the franchise, the Star Wars universe, so they're gonna actually do some crazy Force spectral, whatever that place is where they go and they freaking have the different timelines. Ahsoka went in there. Oh no, what's his name went in there and grabbed Ahsoka out of there before, I guess, Darth Vader was supposed to kill her or something. I don't know, some time travel stuff. So they could, and that's canon. So they could potentially change what Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams did with the sequel trilogy, and basically go into the timeline and, I don't know, kill Palpatine before he saves himself. I don't even understand how he survived, honestly. But they could negate all of that stuff. So that never happens. Rey's never born. Luke never, what's his name? Ben never turns to the dark side. If Palpatine dies, for real, but so he doesn't make Snoke, he doesn't turn Ben, Rey isn't born. All these things is all Palpatine. So all they have to do is make sure Palpatine doesn't survive, right? So I know I'm going to movie stuff, but that was kind of the scuttlebutt of what they're doing in the Star Wars universe, what Filoni and Favreau was doing. Anyway, back to games. So whatchamacallit? So we got open world Ubisoft game. I'm gonna keep my ears open. My hopes aren't up. Honestly, like this Battlefield, like what's up on the screen now, the Battlefield 2 stuff, like the story stuff. If that was part of like the Jedi Fallen Order or something, or if it was like a side story that was actually a different type of game instead of a Battlefront game. I think the problem with this story stuff in the Battlefront games is that it's a Battlefront game. That's the problem. Like the actors, all that stuff is cool, whatever, but it's a Battlefront game. You know, I mean, they trying real hard to be like COD, and I guess it works a little bit, but nah, big, nah. I mean, I would say not the only, but the most successful first-person story-based single-player game was Half-Life 2, and its subsequent chapters, the 2 chapters 1 and 2. That's it. Everything else was like, I mean, COD, they got good stuff. I ain't gonna say it's whack. It's pretty good. But everybody else is like kind of like, meh, make it meh. I mean, the what is those? Wow, my brain stopped. Because Stalker 2 is basically what the other game I'm thinking about. But Stalker 2 might be one. I've seen that little trailer. I was like, ooh, that look good. That look pretty good. Then it says, if you have a kid today, that game will be out by the time he's driving your car. Well, that's the thing, though, right? Ubisoft, they make games real fast. They got a million people. They got thousands of people working on these games at once because, like, how they do their games. You know, they don't put out 59. I mean, they did put out like 3 games. I think, was it 3 games? It was Phoenix Rising and Watch Dogs 2. And that's it, right? Did they have another game? I don't think so. But they put those 2 games out pretty close to each other. So they can do 2 at a time, which is good. So they can do Star Wars and whatever else. And they don't miss a beat. Oh, and Assassin's Creed. Jesus Christ. Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, and Phoenix. So they had 3 games, 3 open world games, pretty giant, substantial games at the same time. And it's because that formula is basically the same formula. So they's like, it's like, here, bring up the default game. It's not even an engine. It's like, bring up the default game. And they say, okay, protagonist here, enemies here, put the land masses. And, you know, a lot of the time I think it's really the art building the worlds. But, you know, I think everything is there. It's like plug and play with them at this point. And story stuff. So they have the hard stuff down. So it's just a matter of, oh, okay. So I don't think it'll take them long. I think it's really about how long is it going to take to make a good story, record all that stuff, and do all that cinematic, you know, stuff that would make this good, you know. That just says, how long did it take them to make Watch Dogs Legion from announced to release, and they already had the groundwork for the game? I don't know, actually. Watch Dogs 2 came out in... When did Watch Dogs 2 come out? Let's see. Watch Dogs 2. Release dates 2006, November 2006. So that was four years ago. Let's just say 4 years. So 4 years. Yeah, 4 years from now, it would be. That seems about right, though. For an open world game? Yeah. But I think this Watch Dogs Legion is even more ambitious and big. I don't know if it's bigger, but I think it's way more ambitious in how they kind of how you can basically recruit anybody on the street. I'm like, wait, that's kind of crazy. How to, you know, that in itself is kind of dope, and that kind of opens up like, oh, okay, if that's the case, then you can be like say in a Star Wars game, say if you're a Jedi or a bounty hunter or whatever, you can be like, you can go to anybody and be like, yo, you want to be part of my crew, you know? Yo, you want to be part of my... Yo, you want to be a Padawan? Yo, you know what I mean? I mean, if you just, like, translate one mechanic from one game that they make to another one, just tweak it a little bit, that'll work. I mean, would it be like, you know, you're a Jedi climbing up all the buildings in Coruscant? Probably not. They could do that if they wanted to, but that would make the game take forever because... The scale of Coruscant is ridiculous, and they would have to, I don't know. I mean, like I said, they probably have a cookie cutter algorithm, like this building is this tall, it has this many, and this is the little path, and maybe it's procedural at this point. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they make their games, so. But, you know, 4 years for a super dope game. Yeah. I would say 3 at the soonest. 4 at more average 4. Sony usually does a 5 year for the juicy games because they want it to be super perfect, better than everything. So they take the extra time and money to do that, which is fine. But what else? Yeah, I don't care about that. Boo, get out of here. You get out of here. I like Qui-Gon Jinn. I don't know nobody else who don't like it, but Qui-Gon Jinn is the dude, man. He was dope. Darth Maul was dope. Yoda, whatever. Luke, he's okay. Obi-Wan, I can't wait for the Obi-Wan freaking series. Qui-Gon Jinn's my favorite Jedi. Qui-Gon Jinn. Because he was gray. He wasn't all following orders. He was pretty much defiant. That's why he wasn't on the council. Because they were like, that's why he's not on the council. Because he's supposed to be Obi-Wan. I don't know. Alright, so the next story. The next story is, how come I didn't... Okay. Whatever. Indiana Jones. I looked up Indiana Jones and Emperor's Tomb the other day. Emperor's Tomb. Fate of Atlantis. I always wanted to play that. I never ended up playing that one. This is a stupid teaser. The teaser is so dumb that I'm not gonna play it because I was so disappointed. I was like, this is dumb. Indiana Jones game Bethesda. There it is. So Machine Games is making an Indiana Jones game. We'll go here. And I was like, what? Machine? Wait, what does Machine? Oh, they make Wolfenstein. What? That's my brain. Like, huh? I mean, honestly, I could probably go through the video. Look, it's Todd Howard. Go through the video frame by frame to see some secrets. I mean, I know Machine Games is on like the typewriter and stuff, but it's like, okay. And now people are like, oh, is it going to be a first person Indiana Jones game? That's going to be garbage. Oh, is it gonna copy Uncharted? If it does, then it's trash. And I'm like, it's like, okay, first of all, if any game copies Uncharted, it's gonna be trash, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Uncharted is overrated. Why? Why you do say? I'm not saying that because it's a Sony game. I'm saying it because the gunplay is hot garbage, and that's a lot of the game. If it's like, I compare the gunplay, because I played a little bit, I was like, this is like, yeah. They never show like extended gunplay sequences. It's all, he's riding the motorcycle and the truck's crashing through and it's all cinematic and you ain't playing none of it. You're just watching. You're waiting for the when you get back to playing it type, And I'm like, ugh. And they show a little cutscene here, cutscene there. Oh, they're playing Crash Bandicoot in the living room. I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing? Where's the gameplay at? Then they start shooting. It's like, Mr. Murder Man over there killing everybody. Then he starts climbing. And I'm like, okay, this is better. Let's do some climbing. Let's do some puzzle solving. Stop murdering people. Legend says, you're mad wrong on that Uncharted call, but keep on. Nah, I'm not wrong. I'm just not susceptible to what they doing. Now, I'm not going to hate on Nolan North, because he's a great voice actor. I like him a lot. I like him a lot. And the actual character, like when Nathan Fillion played Nathan Drake in that little short thing that they did, I was like, all right, I can watch a movie about that. I mean, now it's gonna be Tom Holland and Marky Mark as Sully. That might be okay. We'll see how his accent is. I'm not saying Uncharted is whack. I'm not saying that. Legend says Uncharted is dope. His dope is dope. I'm not saying it's whack. I'm just saying. Like, if you, the first game is like, yeah. The second game was like, okay, this is better. First game's like, yeah. First game, I'm telling you right now, go back and play the first game. You'd be like, okay, this is rough. This ain't on. But the second game on, I heard the fourth game was too long. I heard the third game had issues, but they weren't perfect games. I'm not saying that they're garbage. I'm just saying that they're not perfect. And when people are saying don't copy Uncharted, I'm like, yeah, don't copy Uncharted because it's not a game to copy. Even Tomb Raider, even though it was close, they didn't copy Uncharted. Not totally. They was like, okay, we're gonna make it cinematic and we're gonna do these things, but remember, this is still Lara Croft. This is still Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider has a history, a legacy, if you will. And if you look at all the Tomb Raider games, you got Tomb Raider 2, and then the Angel of the Dark, and all these other games, right? At just before they relaunched the Tomb Raider franchise, you look at that Tomb Raider and you look at Uncharted, kind of similar. And I was listening to a podcast, they were like arguing like, oh, Tomb Raider bit off Uncharted. I'm like, yo, can I smack y'all through the internet real quick? Because no. Uncharted copied Tomb Raider, copied Indiana Jones. Going back, Indiana Jones. Exclusive for the Xbox. I said it. I don't think it's going to be exclusive. No, you know what? Might be exclusive. Maybe. Uncharted 2 is amazing. You need to get off that. No. I think Uncharted 2 is probably the best Uncharted game. Honestly. Legend says, you keep talking about how good Gears of War is, but you don't realize it's straight stealing action scenes out of Uncharted. No. Are you trying to compare the shooting from Gears of War and you trying to compare Uncharted to you trying to compare the skill it takes. You trying to compare Gears to Uncharted, and you can't win this one. You can't win this one. Look at the Uncharted multiplayer. I can barely visualize it because ain't nobody playing it. Everybody's playing Gears 5 multiplayer, playing that Horde. I don't know if they're playing that Hive Busters. I mean, I played the Hive Busters DLC, but the whatever Escape, that's what it's called, Escape mode, which is the Hive Busters characters in a multiplayer setting type of thing. But as far as I think Gears is overall better. I think as far as shooting, a third person hide behind cover shooter game, Gears of War destroys Uncharted. Don't even try to play yourself, son. The best parts of Uncharted are not the shooting. The best parts of Gears kind of are the shoot. Nah. I think Gears is so balanced. It's like the shooting's good, and then the kind of the writing's real good. Especially Hive Busters. Hive Busters is so good, man. Oof. And then the slide down when you're in the volcano, when you're in the lava tubes, that's like pretty dope. I was like, okay, that's pretty dope. When you're on that door, you blow the door off and it lands in the lava river. And you gotta travel down the lava river and you shoot fools on the side on the banks, and they're like, and they jump on you like, brr, brr. So good. Meanwhile, Drake's on a boat. Drake is on a boat. Drake's behind some crates in the fish market, shooting fools. Drake's on a bridge, hanging. Uncharted did sliding first. Ooh. Oh yeah? Does Uncharted have chainsaw machine guns? I didn't think so. Come on, son. Come on, then. Wait a second. I looked that up. The first Uncharted. Did I spell it right? Uncharted came out. When did the first one come out? 2007. And so, Gears definitely came out later than that. Wait, did it? Okay, my brain. Oh, it's 2006. Didn't it say that? Hold up. 2006. 2006. Okay, there was no sliding in the first game, but still. Does that mean that Uncharted bit off of Gears? Well, they tried to, but let me see where that went. I'm just saying. Uncharted kind of didn't. Uncharted had to make their game more alluring by adding some charisma with it, with your boy, with the characterization of Nathan Drake by Nolan North, which worked. I think the best thing about, like, when that first Uncharted game came out, they're like, yo, man, the guy who does the voice act, I like Nathan Drake because I like the guy who does. That's it. That was it. This is his voice. It was the voice actor made dope. And like, dope. Like, yeah. And it worked. Him and Troy Baker running things. I would say Dave Fennoy is the black Nolan North of today, right now. And guess what character Dave Fennoy, I already said this. Dave Fennoy plays the lead character in Gears Hivebusters. And it's so good. He also played Lee Everett in The Walking Dead with Clementine. That was when I first heard him. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And he's in other stuff, but I heard him in Gears Hivebusters. I was like, oh, isn't that Dave Fennoy in it? So, yeah. I would listen to Dave Fennoy. Here's what I say. Microsoft, Xbox, hire Dave Fennoy. Have him on retainer. Just get him to voice the when the console turn on, be like, Xbox. Just do that. Come on, son. Get Dave Fennoy to power up my Xbox. Be great. Why don't they do that? Custom power up sounds. You could sell them on the store. 99 cents. Welcome to no Xbox. Something. Whatever. Mad people you could put some naughty stuff in there like, you turned me on. Xbox. Shoot. Like this turn on sound is rated M for mature. So if you're a kid, don't buy this one. I want Ariana Grande sing Xbox and moan when it starts, then I will buy an Xbox. Well, see, now I gotta send an email to Phil Spencer and tell him that, because he's like, look, Phil, all you need to do is get young Spanish singers to do that on the thing and mad people about the Xbox. And he'd be like, well, I don't know about that because the games are respect of the... Phil, you need to stop it. Put the Bible away. We not in church now. We in business. We trying to sell Xboxes. Stop it. But I don't know. I've been in the band's business for a lot of years, and I feel no Phil. I'm trying to get my Phil. I try to get my Phil impression. I can't. Just doing it by memory. Anyway. I would like to hear that, but I don't think I would want Ariana. I would kick my Xbox so hard. I'd be like, shut up. I don't hate Ariana Grande. I think she's good. I wish that she would sing more articulately, because how she sings, it's like her voice is cool, but how she sings, she needs to be more articulate. She has to have better diction to enunciate her words better because of how she sings. Not saying she sings bad, it's just like how she can. Her voice is a little like, it's like kind of feels like it's compressed on the sides. Anyway, look at James Brown, man. You need a style. She got a style. It's ponytails. That's I swear, if she don't have a ponytail, I'm like, who that? Who that right there? Oh, that Ariana Grande. She gonna have a ponytail for the rest of her life. I mean, whatever. She's a good looking lady. Whatever. I grew up in NYC. I heard all kind of bad English. I can understand her. No problem. I understand her too, but what song was it? I forgot what song it was, but it sounded like she was saying something else. I was like, And it was, I know what she was saying, but it sounded like something else. And that's just me being a stickler. It doesn't. I have the same issues with my own stuff, so don't pay attention to me. Anyway, back to Indiana. Indiana. Here's my thing. Machine Games makes it. Todd Howard loves the game. He knows Uncharted is out there. He knows Tomb Raider is out there. He's not a dummy. If they make a first-person game, I don't know. I mean, hopefully it's as good as Half-Life 2. Let's just say that. But I don't know. I would assume that it's a third-person action-adventure type of game. It would just be easier to make that type of game, right? And it's not impossible because we've seen Respawn do it with Jedi Fallen Order. So they have set a precedent, and Todd Howard, like I said, he's not a fool. Although, Fallout 76, got questions for you, guy. But they could make a game. So this game's supposed to be set between, as far as I know, it's supposed to be set in 1939, which is supposed to be between Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom. I would assume that it would involve the Nazis because Machine Games loves to kill them Nazis, baby. And I would be pro killing Nazis as well. I mean, free speech and all that, but no, sorry. So we can. Yes. Temple of Doom was a prequel. Thank you for correcting. But yes. So it's between Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade, if we want to do it chronologically. Because Temple of Doom was 37, right? I think. And Raiders was 39? No, Raiders was 30. Yes, now I gotta look it up. I think. Wait. Now I'm just totally. Hold up. The Lost Ark took place, whatever. 36. So Temple of Doom was 34, I believe, and I think Last Crusade was 38. Oh, jeez, I need them all. Let me see if it's on the Wikipedia. Okay, so so the first one, like we just said, 36 was the first one. Oh, that's Raiders. Raiders is 36. Wait, is this just Raiders? No, I need Temple of Doom. Where's Temple of Doom? It has to be in here somewhere, right? They don't have a link to Temple of Doom? Come on, son. All right, sons of bitches. Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom. Should be able to get that. Temple of Doom. Okay, so Temple of Doom was in 30. They don't say. Am I missing it? It's not in here. Is it in here? I'm trying to see. I'm trying to scan it real quick. Did you say? No, you didn't say. No, they don't. Oh, 35. Okay. So Temple of Doom is 35. Legend says you all about the salad, but you don't know the dressing. Temple of Doom is 35. Raiders is 36. I guess Last Crusade is 37? I could have swore it was 38. I don't know if this is going to come up. Oh. Yeah, there is. 38. Okay. Set largely in 38. Wait, what? How's that? Oh, because of the beginning part with the River Phoenix. All right, so we got 35, 36 and 38. So it would be, if it's between these two, then it has to be in 37. Yeah. Okay. Hey, we solved the mystery. So this game's supposed to take place 1937. With Indiana Jones, obviously. So they're gonna have to recast. Well, yeah, they're gonna have to have somebody else because Harrison Ford is too old to do a younger, in his prime Indiana Jones. It's not gonna work because he's just Belloc. I mean, it's the same voice, just 70 years. No, how old is Harrison Ford? Is like 80 something now, around 80. Indiana Jones was 84. Well, 81 to 89, I think. Excuse me. So, I think that Machine Games, they're good. They make bangers. So let's not be unrealistic. Their games is bangers, right? The two that they made, not the young. I think Youngblood, New Blood was not them. So it was But Wolfenstein 2, they will bang us. I think it's gonna be. Let me. Is this the full? I should just go to freaking. Yeah, this is the full one. Oh boy, Twitter and their freaking garbage ass compression. I can't even look at this. I gotta go to YouTube. I gotta go to YouTube. Hey, look, I'm streaming. Indiana Jones. Bethesda. I didn't spell that right. but Bethesda. Alright, so let's go frame by frame. Oh, that's the wrong way. Frame by Nope. Frame by frame. Wait, I'm not even. Let's go. Oh my gosh, it's not even freaking HD, son of a bastard. All right, all right. So let's see what we got. We got Todd Howard. It's hard to read. I can't even read it. Todd Howard, Ancient Circle Jubilee. I don't know who writes this. I can't even read that. See, this sucks. I can't. Anyway, so they have the idol. There's the idol. I think that was the where the Well of Souls. I think that's from the first game. I mean the first movie, right? What does MC stand for? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think everything in this trailer has something. The thing I don't like about this trailer is that it's just like a map. It's like a painting. It's not even like CG, you know? So I'm like, this game is mad early. Like you said, Legend, ink ain't even dry. But they just signed it, so which means the ink isn't dry. Yeah. So Bethesda, there you go. Bethesda Softworks. Right? So that's Todd. No, Shia LaBeouf, this is to 1937. I don't think he even had how old was Mutt in wait, what year did I totally forgot about Crystal Skull. Wow. What year did I gotta go back. Wait, let's finish this. What year was Crystal Skull in? It was 50 something, right? I think it was the 50s. Bonds, what's going on? Hope you're good. Don't mind me just deep in Battlefield 4. All right. Have fun. Shoot the people. Shoot them. Look out behind you. Shoot them. Okay. All right. So you got Bethesda Softworks there. It's what is that? Is that supposed to be like a passport or something? And Rome. So what does that say? Overnight service to Rome, which means that's probably where it's gonna be. And this is probably. Does that look like the Vatican right there? Is that the Vatican? You know what? That's super. Okay, so I never put that together, right? So if you put all the common elements of the two main Indiana Jones movies, which is Raiders and Last Crusade, we can forget about Crystal Skull because that's hot garbage. We can forget about Temple of Doom, even though that's like my favorite one, because that's not what the Nazi. The whole kind of theme, the through line through Indiana Jones is Nazis and their search for ancient and powerful and religious artifacts, right? And so it being in Rome and like having the Vatican there and that's like, okay, that's interesting. Already that's interesting to me because like they could have a whole underground complex under the Vatican, under the whole city because it's such an old city. Legend says they're gonna be a monkey driving action section. Probably not. Probably not. Even Todd Howard knows is that Crystal Skull is hot garbage. I bet he better know. If he thinks that's good, then I'm gonna have to have I was about to say I'm gonna have to have a talk with him, but come on, son. All right, so overnight service to Rome. See, it's right there, October 21st, 1937. See, all the answers will show their faces. And this is Machine Games typewriter. Do. Space. See the shift. It's got some stuff on it. I was like, Cocaña? What is that? Come on, move it. No, it's gonna skip. Do. That's an interesting typewriter. I wonder if it's like in one of their games. They're just like, let's get the typewriter we did from Wolfenstein 29. Same old trope, stale catacombs. Well, look, that's what Indiana Jones is. All the things that George Lucas made that were super popular are all tropes. The premises are tropes. It's like, hey, let's make let's make a fantasy of princess with the hero and the knight in shining armor except space with laser guns and laser swords. It's like, oh yeah, okay. So let's make a sci-fi version of the same as Rescue a Princess type of stuff. Okay, it's a good idea there, George. Let's do that. Or let's make a thing where the action guy with the whip and he's whipping the lions and because he has a whip and he has a fedora because he's cool. Yeah. Why does George Lucas sound like that? And then like, yeah, that's a good idea, George. Just like I forgot what he got it from. Oh, I never noticed that picture right there. What is that? It's a catacomb, I told you. Lucasfilm games? Really? The camera has Lucasfilm games on it. Come on, son. Y'all could have done better than. I don't know what that says right there. I can't even tell. Wouldn't that make more sense to it says it on the film. It would if they just had it on the film, then I would have been okay. Bond says a Western space opera. Yeah, basically. Space opera. Top secret. And then the hat and the whip, blah, blah, blah. And there's guns there. Hello. Don't forget the gun. That's it. And it says Indiana Jones and 20 and copyright and trademark. Okay. 2021, Lucasfilm, Bethesda, and Machine Games are registered trademarks of ZeniMax Media, all rights reserved. And when Microsoft buys it, all rights reserved. And then when Microsoft buys it, it has an Indiana Jones game, exclusive, all rights reserved. Okay. Bond says I'm ranked 13th for NYC in Battlefield. Gonna have to climb up to the top 5. That's interesting. I still don't know what MC is. That's MC, right? Maryland Ravenclaw? No, it's a C. It's like maybe he's got Maryland mugs in it. Because this is after Raiders, so this is 37. Wait a second. Right. Raiders is did we do this right? Yes. No, Raiders was 35. Crusade was 38. This is 37. And no, wait, did I just do that wrong? No, Raiders is 36. So Temple of Doom is 35. Raiders is 36. This is 37. And Last Crusade is 38. So they're doing it per year. Okay, this makes more sense now. Ay, Dios mío. Okay, wow. Man. Did I talk about everything? It just says you buy no time on Steam. The graphics are shit and it's awful looking, but it has sandbox time travel. Wow, no time. Never heard of that. Gotta look into that. Then it says, I don't get it why you Microsoft people getting so hyped about Indiana Jones. The last good Indiana Jones movie was Temple of Doom. The last good Indiana Jones game was never the last good game the developer came out with. Was a long time ago, yet y'all getting hyped. What are you talking about? The last good game the developer came out with was a long time ago. Are you? You're not serious. Yeah, nah, stop playing. Because we're gonna go here and we're gonna look at Machine Games' Machine Games' Gameography? Is that a thing? Gameography. I'm gonna make it a word, damn it. Oh, there is a gameography word. Wow, I didn't realize that. But there's no Machine Games game. Okay, Machine Games. Machine Games. Machine Games games. Probably yes. Do with Wikipedia. Look at that. See, you gotta realize. Didn't they come out with that Sisters game? No, the Sisters game was made by another company. They did the first 2 Wolfenstein games. Machine Games developed a new installment of Wolfenstein. They did New Order and Old Blood and New Kanasis. Wow. New Order, Old Blood. A year later, New Colossus, Young Blood, Cyberpilot is a series of World War II video games. Wait, what the hell is Cyberpilot? Okay, I thought Youngblood was by someone else. Yeah, Arcane. That's what it was. Arcane did that one. I mean, Machine Game. I guess they said, here's the assets and here's the engine. Go make it. So Arcane really did it. And the funny thing is, right, that was like the hot garbage one. Guess what Arcane is making? Deathloop. All you Sony, I don't understand all you Sony guys hyping this game. Meanwhile, the last game they made, Youngblood, kind of hot garbage. Kind of not too good compared to the other 2. I'm just saying. Y'all are hyping it, but yo, guess what else they made? What's the Metacritic on those 2 Wolfenstein? Let's see. Let's look it up. I'll hit that link in a quick second. There, okay, Judo. Wolfenstein. Those 2 Wolfenstein. Metacritic. I'm not. Well, some people are. They're like, oh, Deathloop is exclusive. So I'm like, okay. Can we get a PC version? Where's the all this PlayStation stuff? Yeah, there we go. I don't want Youngblood. God dog it. Yeah, 69. That's what's the garbage one. Well, I guess we can go with the PlayStation 4 one. 79. What about PC? That's what I'm looking for. PC. 81. That's probably the best version. That one came out last gen? I guess it did, yeah. No score. Score, I don't know. 79. So the consoles got 79s and the PC got 81. That's alright. It ain't the best, but you know. So where's the second one? Let's see. I think the second one was here. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Calupa Colossus. 86 for New Colossus. That's on that's the PC version. Alright, so let's see what the PlayStation 4 got. 87 and Xbox got 88. So there you go. See? They got better. And then Youngblood was lower, so because that was like hot garbage or whatever. But yeah. So it's a I mean, it's not like a booga booga banger, but it ain't like hot garbage either. And also based off of, you know, what the game is based off of. I'm like, okay. So Youngblood, New Order. That's the. Did I just look that one up? It looks like I did. Oh, I did it for okay. There's. So Wait, New Order. New Order was the third one. This is the one I need to look up. That's not. I don't know if that's the right one. Is that this? Let me see. Nope, that's not the right one. That's the old school. Well, not old school, but that's the one before Machine Games did that Duck Dizzle on it. Yeah, 2009. That's way. So New Colossus is 2. New Order is the first one. New Colossus is 2. Young Blood, and then what was it? New Order, Old Blood. Oh, Old Blood was a it was a DLC, right? Let me see if I can find that one too. I don't think they would have a whatchamacallit for that one because it's a DLC. It wasn't a full release. So never mind. So yeah. I think like think about them. You know, they got better as they went along with their game. Boop boop boop. And you know, I always go back to Respawn, right? Respawn was making bangers, whatever. First Titanfall, it's all right. Second Titanfall, way better. Underrated. I think it's one of the best first-person campaigns. Still to this date, even though I haven't played a whole lot of COD. I've played... The COD campaigns are good. Titanfall, still. That level, when you're in the world manufacturer machine thing and it's making all the levels and stuff and all the freaking things are flipping around. Yo, that's the best. And then the time travel stuff. And there's time travel in Titanfall 2. I don't know if you realize this. I don't know if you guys have played Titanfall 2, but Titanfall 2 is a banger. So good. I think I'm going to replay that game. That's such a good game, man. And plus your freaking your Titan, what's his name? BG? GB? TG? GT? I don't remember. He sounds like Optimus Prime. He's kind of dope. I was like, yo, I like this game. This is a good ass game. I think it's BT. Can't remember. Bond says, Young Blood, the kids take over to look for dad. Past. Legend says, so you're saying they don't really put out the fire. We shouldn't be getting all high about a game with no history to back it up. What I'm saying is that the first game was okay. Second game was better. That second game had a better score than... What was that Sony exclusive that came out recently? I don't remember. That wasn't Ghost of... Was it Ghost of Tsushima? I don't remember. I don't feel like looking it up. I think it got an 80 something. Anyway, one of the recent exclusives from PlayStation got in the 80s. Same as this game's. Same as the part 2 anyway. So, and the history is there because not once again, but Machine Games is born of I totally why is born of X what the hell are they called? I can't believe that my brain doesn't have to go here. Oh, Starbreeze. And Starbreeze was the first what the hell was that game called? Darkness? The first Darkness was ridiculous. That was a good game. That game was so good. That was Starbreeze. They had it locked. I was like, this is on 360 I'm playing. I'm like, this game is real good. Jackie. So good. The second one, not so much. But the first one, banger. And then they went and made a new studio. Go Machine Games. That's what I'm saying. You talking about history. That's the history right there. They've been making games for a minute. And they haven't made bad games. It's not like, they're making bad games and now they got better. No, they were always making good games. Not like the super dope triple best of the best, but they were like right there. They were like the best was there, and they were like, second place goes to Starbreeze. As far as like third party games, they were like at the top. You know, they're right. Like I would say, like you look at like EA and Rockstar, all the big companies, they're like at the top because it's just size and stuff. But then you have Starbreeze, which is like a smaller studio. That's them. And so Machine Games, that's them. So I'm like, that's the history right there. So, and if Microsoft buys them, I mean, when Microsoft seals the deal, come on. So that's like, I don't want to say unlimited resources, but I think it's more than what they had before. Boom. They're going to start putting out some stuff. Like when you got money and you have time, forget about it. That's if y'all don't know, that's exactly what Sony has been doing. They delay, and when you delay, it costs more money. That's what they do. Delay until it's right. Which is, I'm not saying it's bad. But that's what Sony does. And so, you know, Microsoft, that's one thing I'd have to critique Microsoft on. They need to give these people time to make these games good. Now, it's looking promising because of what Halo Infinite's going through. So I'm like, all right, they give them a year. So I'm like, it was either real broken or they're just like, nope, we're not gonna crunch. I was gonna say crush. We're not gonna crush. What do you mean we're not gonna crush? I mean crunch. We're not gonna crunch. Gonna take our time. We're gonna make it good. And it's the anniversary, so we have to wait anyway. You know, it doesn't make sense to come out before, no matter how good it is or if it's done or whatever. Bond says, I have Titanfall, have yet to play it. Titanfall 2. The first one is if you have Titanfall 2, play it. It's a real good game. It's real good. It's so good that I would say that might be my favorite single player first person shooter game. It's just so like inventive. It's like, cause you know the other games is like military or kind of near future. I'm soap. That's my name. I'm like, nah, I don't care. I don't even remember the dude's name in Titanfall. But you got a freaking robot, and he's like, yo, he scoops you up and throws you in his chest, and you inside, and he's like talking to you, and then he throws you out, and then he throws you into the air to get to another spot. And, oh man, so good. I was like, I like this. He's like your giant robot dog. He's so good. Except he's not dumb like a dog. Anyway, Legend says, the dudes have made the darkness. Some of them are dead. A lot of them quit. There might be one dude standing around with a mop in his hand that's still left over at the studio. Oh, that's good. Bond says, that was only good Darkness game. Too bad they didn't make the Witchblade. Yeah, no, man. Witchblade could have been such a good game. Witchblade was a game, right? I know they had an anime, and I know they had the comic book. I used to collect the comic book because I like the art. The artist, I forgot who the artist was. It wasn't Mark Silvestri, was it? It might have been. I don't remember. Yeah, Titanfall 2 is good. Play it. You have it. Play it. Don't wait. Just play the single player. Don't worry about multiplayer. I might have played the multiplayer, maybe, just to try it out. But don't even. It's a full single player experience. I don't remember how long it was. Maybe 15 hours. I'm just pulling it out of my booty hole. I knew it wasn't long, but I knew it wasn't like super short, so it was like a good length. But it's so good. It's like, and then you start. There's a boss that you have to fight. I mean, think about it. It's a first-person game, right? It's a first-person shooter. You know, you got a gun, right? And then you have your Titan, and then you're fighting. You're like on a flying like aircraft fortress thing. You're on like the top of it, and then this big giant freaking flying Titan comes out and starts fighting you, and then it feels like one of them old school games where it's like a giant boss that's like has a pattern and he's flying. It's like that. It's like it's first person. And it's so, oh man, when that happened, I was like, okay, yo. And then the whole time travel thing, sorry, I spoiled that for you, but the whole time travel, I was like, okay, all right, okay, hold up. All right, this is so good, man. Man, that's when I knew, like, yo, Respawn ain't no joke. Respawn Respawn should have been, Microsoft should have scooped them up like scoop, skip, scop, scoop. They should have scooped them up so quick, man. Once they broke off and they saw Titanfall, the first Titanfall, and then Titanfall 2 came out, they should have said scoop, scoop. Scoop, scop, scoop. But, you know, they were in transition right there. Phil didn't really have his feet solid on the ground. He didn't have, you know, I don't think he had talked to Satya at the time. You know, get them billions of dollars. So, but now, Phil has Satya's ear and his interest because he's proven what his kind of direction in guiding the Xbox ship is working. Game Pass is working. And the fact that it's working when PlayStation Now has failed, and they're supposed to be the leaders in the industry, right? But they couldn't get their subscription model to work, and they have more consoles out there. How did you think about that, right? And then this other guy who's like third place, and then they get theirs to work, and now they're like the Netflix. I mean, you look at that, and Satya's looking at that. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of money, doesn't it? Phil's like, yes, it does. And Satya's like, well, let me see. I mean, he's Indian, but that's not. I don't know what that is. Money's good. Well, money's good. I think I will not be this racist. But yeah, so I mean, as much as people hate Phil, saying, "Oh, he lies. He's lied so many times." Remember when he said that the VR is gonna be, the HoloLens is gonna be on the Xbox, VR is gonna be in the Xbox One X. Remember that? He lied to y'all. And I was like, okay. I mean, that wasn't true, and they course corrected. They changed their plans, so it's not technically a lie. Jim Ryan straight up lied to y'all, PlayStation dudes and dudettes. Straight up lied. I mean, no, it's not like, oh, they were making a decision and the plans. No, that wasn't in it. That wasn't in it. Nope. He lied. He's like, yeah, we believe in generation. PlayStation 5 exclusive. And then lied. That was the lie. And then the truth came out in a blog post that nobody was supposed to see. Yo, I still can't get over that. Man. So, you know, y'all can keep your PlayStation 5, man. I'll wait for the Pro or something, because the PlayStation 5 is hot garbage. I went to the store again. I think it's way too big. It's too big to be in a store. I'm like, what are you doing? That thing takes up so much space. Bond says, comic book and TV show of Witchblade. Yeah, I remember comic book. Oh, yeah, TV show. Was it an anime? I think it was an anime, right? Bond says, Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, God of War, Gears of War, fighting a 50-foot boss. I actually missed, which one was it? The Castlevania Lords of Shadow? That had one. That had a big boss. Legend says, yeah, man, if Anthem was an exclusive, I would really wouldn't have anything to say about you, Anthem. Ugh. Anthem is not good. I bought Anthem because it was like $10, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of okay, but they have no game there. It's just like, it's barely game. I mean, they're supposed to be making a game now, so who knows? Kaija says, Time Shift is a great third-person and FPS game. They put the time manipulation stuff in the multiplayer. You can slow down bullets, fast forward them, or pause them. Yeah. Well, the time stuff in Titanfall is not. I'm trying to remember. I think there is some time manipulation stuff, but it's more about, it's actually a puzzle solving thing where you jump from different time periods in the same area. So at one point, it's all destroyed and stuff, and then the other point, it's not. It's different. So you need to jump back and forth in order to traverse the level. Basically, it's pretty dope. There's a lot of creative level design in Titanfall 2 that makes it like head and shoulders better than a lot of everything. You know what I mean? So, I would say it's less about the actual combat, but more about traversal and level design. It's pretty dope. I liked it. I was like, okay, this is... Legend says, you talking about lies, boy? I can't wait for that Milo drink to come out because the Connect was so good, and they don't know that they'd have problems. They knew exactly what was up with that system and what was wrong with it. Milo. Why'd you have to bring up Milo, Legend? Come on, man. I was doing so good. Well, first, I would like to say that Peter Molyneux, has a habit of exaggeratedly lying. Is that a word? He lies a lot. Oh no, he exaggerates a lot. Kind of like your boy Sean Murray. Remember him? Wasn't that Scloozy? Remember No Man's Sky? Remember that? Remember the video where they had the Jurassic Park? Welcome to Jurassic Park, and then the broken recorder came on. That shit. That's still the funniest. That is still the funniest video game meme video of forever. That is so hilarious because Jurassic Park is like one of my favorites. It's a classic. It's great. The music is super dope, awesome, right? John Williams doing his Thug Thizzle, and they had it there. Welcome to Jurassic Park, and then they switch it, and it's like, it's so funny. All thanks to Sean Murray and No Man's Sky. Thank you, Sean Murray and No Man's Sky, for providing us with joy and laughter. Something I'll never forget. You can play No Man's Sky and it looks exactly like that. Well, no, wait. It looks way better. Where the F is Milo? Well, at least Milo never came out to disappoint. It was just a phantom disappointment. A phantom lie instead of a real lie. Like, see, Sony invests in the real lies. Like, lying Jim Ryan, you lie to your face. Your boy Sean Murray. Oh, man, you can play. Everybody's in this million billion universes. Oh, boy. And then he wins best ongoing game because they're still making the game. Legend, they're still making No Man's Sky. Did you know he won an award for the longest game ever being made? Except I think Star Citizen's catching up on him. But I'm just saying, it was a lie to sell consoles. That's way worse. What are you Jim Ryan literally just did that. He literally lied to y'all to say PlayStation 5, you can't play this game. PlayStation 4, Miles Morales, PlayStation 5, Scloozy. I mean, not really Scloozy. We believe in generations. That's the biggest lie. That's the biggest lie right there. But you can take those words and kind of juggle them around a little bit, like, and it's not really a lie because if you look at the UI on the PlayStation 5. And you go in deep into the menus, which you have to do sometimes. There's a PlayStation 4 section and a PlayStation 5 section as far as the games go. Why is that separate? Why are there PlayStation 4 PlayStation? Because they believe in generations. Oh, he wasn't lying, except for the fact that he misled everybody to believe that, I don't know, Miles Morales was PlayStation 5 only. God of War, PlayStation 5 only. You know it's going to be cross-gen. Even David Jaffe says, yeah, God of War is going to be cross-gen. He said, yeah, God of War is going to be on the PlayStation 4. Yep, he said it. Horizon Forbidden West. I'm just saying. He lied. That's your boy. That is your boy. Did Jim Ryan have a presentation with a video of a little boy that seemed all friendly and said, oh, why aren't you be my friend? Did he say it just like that? He didn't do that. But what he did was worse. Because he said one thing to lead everyone to believe PlayStation 5, all these games gonna be exclusives. Yeah, Xbox ain't got no exclusives. Y'all got all these cross-gen games. I'm getting PlayStation 5 because that's the real next-gen console experience. And the truth was in a blog post, and they didn't even put, somebody sleuthed it out the internet and dug it up and say, yo, y'all know that all these games are cross-gen, right? But like, no, lies. Like, nah, it's right here in the PlayStation blog post. Oh, he didn't mention that. He didn't mention that all them games are but also means that they'll be held back. And those are the wrong games. I mean, I understand you got a huge console base, PlayStation 4, and that's the curse of selling so many consoles, is that now you're stuck in last gen. You still got one foot in last gen. You still got one foot in the grave. Bury that bitch already. Come on, man. You know? You can't have it all. You can't be next gen and last gens at the same time. You gotta make a choice. You gotta cut them off. But they won't. How's the crossing? If it's dumbing down to play on an older system, you ain't playing the game. You're playing something with the game's name on it. What are you talking about? It's cross-gen, which means that they can, okay, Legend says, I can play Mortal Kombat on a black and white Game Boy. Don't make it Mortal Kombat. So you're saying that the PlayStation 4 version of God of War Ragnarok and the PlayStation 4 version of Horizon Forbidden West are not the same game as the PlayStation 5 versions. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. So is Miles Morales different on the PlayStation 5 than it is on the PlayStation 4? I'm talking about gameplay mechanics wise. I'm not talking about better graphics or ray tracing, because that's better graphics. That doesn't change the gameplay. That's just saying. I'm saying that they're taking assets out with a truck just to make it run. I mean, they're doing things to make it run good. They're not. I don't know if they're taking. There'd be less assets, less cars. I mean, that's like saying, the Xbox Series X version of Cyberpunk is next gen versus the PlayStation 5 version of Cyberpunk because there's less trucks and cars and NPCs on the screen. That's what you're saying? So the Xbox Series X is actually next gen, even though it's not. But it's still next gen compared to the PlayStation 5 version because they have less assets. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is that what you're saying? Less assets mean it's a different game? Or it's worse? I don't understand. They're doing things to make it run at all. Look, the reason why all these games are coming out on PlayStation 5 so good is because they're using the same API that they did when they're making PlayStation 4 games, because all these games are cross-gen. Do you see what's going on? It doesn't take a scientist. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that they're using the same tools that they've used on the PlayStation 4. That's why they can make these games so fast. That's why the PlayStation 4 versions are better, because they're using the same tools. It's almost like they're making the PlayStation 4 games, except they added higher graphics. PlayStation 5, higher graphics. Ray tracing maybe, depending on how you use it. That's what they're doing. I mean, just to reduce it, down to just simple terms. That's what they're doing. So, I mean, there's going to be no doubt that God of War Ragnarok will play best on the PlayStation 5. Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. And same way to Horizon Forbidden West. But will there be flying in Horizon Forbidden West? I mean, that's one thing they had to actually take out of the original game, because the PlayStation 4 couldn't handle flying because it couldn't stream the assets in fast enough. It couldn't stream in the world fast enough. They can do that on the PlayStation 5, but if they're not making it specifically for the PlayStation 5, they can't add mechanics that don't work on the PlayStation 4 unless those mechanics don't exist on the PlayStation 4 version. Will Sony do that? That's the question. That's the question. Will Sony make a PlayStation 4 version that is inferior to the PlayStation 5 version in gameplay, not graphics, not ray tracing, gameplay mechanics? Like the example I always use, Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor was way better on the Xbox One than it was on the Xbox 360. They took out the Nemesis system, and I was like, why would you even play that game? Because that's the main crux of that game. That Nemesis system was bananas, and they couldn't do it on 360. And it's not exactly a totally different game, but that one mechanic changes the game in a big way. So, I mean, it's possible that they could take it out or add it to have it in the PlayStation 5 version and not in the PlayStation 4 version. But I don't know. I don't know what the consequences. What would that do? You know, what would people? I mean, the PlayStation 4 version probably wouldn't sell as much, even though it's, you know, there are more people that have PlayStation 4. Would it push people to buy more PlayStation 5s? I mean, they already have the demand for it, so they don't need to do something like that. So I don't know, but they want to sell units. You know, that's their whole business model, is selling units. They need to sell games. So on Sony's side, they need to sell games. So they're going to do as many cross-gen games as they can because of the install base of the PlayStation 4, because of their business model. Xbox doesn't have that business model. They have Game Pass. Sub to Game Pass. That's all we want, son. You don't have to buy a console yet. Just sub the game. That's it. So, if you want to think about it, you can be like, yo, Game Pass exclusive, only for the X, the Series X, Series S. They could do that if they wanted to, because it's about Game Pass. Although, that wouldn't make sense. So, that would have to be cross-gen too. So, I take that back. But eventually, it'll, you know, they'll all go to the next gen anyway. So, sorry. How do you know that to be effective? It sounds like you're making it up. Well, what part? That's what they've been doing for decades, dumbing down games to work on lesser systems. Yes, that's true. Game Pass don't have nothing on it. That's right, I said it and I mean it. That's right, I said it and I mean it. I can imagine you saying that with like a big giant beer and a steak, and just your puppies and your bird next to you chilling with the wine, just chilling. As I said. Yeah, that's where my imagination went. And it's still light outside over there, right? It's 9:30, so it's I guess the sun's setting about. Is it? It's about 6. No, it's earlier. It's 5, right? 5:21 over there. Anyway, have a good evening. I gotta go. I think I'm gonna go eat some food or something. 4:21. Nice. So, afternoon time for you. Well, I'm glad to have you here, man. It's very as entertaining for me to talk to you. It's fun because you're cool. We're all cool. We all try to be cool anyway. But, you know, games, look, you know, we disagree on, you know, whatever, Sega, Sony, Nintendo, Xbox, Turbo Graphics. Who cares, right? You know, we're all having fun. We're all doing our thug dizzle. It's not really that serious. So, I'm just glad that I can just have the opportunity to sit here and goof off with you guys and gals. And, hi, Bridget. And, you know, some things you just aren't that serious. And I listen to, I'm on Twitter. I'm looking at the tweeties. I'm listening to certain podcasts and stuff, and some people take stuff real serious, and I'm like, it's not that serious. You know, I mean, I might like this or not like this or whatever, or I might be like, oh, Sony's kind of messed up or whatever. But when it comes down to it, they make pretty good games. They make excellent games, I'm gonna say. And that's not really a indicative of their overall business strategy as far as a company. You know, those things are separate, and I can compartmentalize those things in my mind and say, okay, their studios are banging. They put out bangers. I'm not going to hate the artists and the people who work at these studios, because that doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to say, oh, Naughty Dog, unless, you know, that whole Neil Druckmann thing, what they did with the band and the YouTube, that was ridiculous. And that was more of them trying to shove around people, the little guys, and push their power around and try to, you know, ban people. You know, these are people. It's a pandemic, and you trying to mess with people's money right now. Like, no, that's not, just because you want to try to hide the story of your game. Like, no, that's not how that works. Your game was leaked. All right. Sorry, your game's out there. This is how the internet works. You can't ban people. You can't ban their channels. I mean, you tried, and it worked for 2 seconds, and then they came back with some more videos, and they're back. You didn't ban them, you know. So what you did was make yourself look like a fool. And that's where I say, okay, you know what? This ain't serious. But when, you know, Neil Druckmann and crew, Muso Limited, whatever, when they do that, then it becomes a little bit more serious. And it's serious on a different level. It's not about, oh, this game sucks and this game's good, or I like this and I like that. It's about a company taking advantage of, whether it's their power, their influence, whatever, in order to manipulate and to silence. It is a free speech thing. And yes, YouTube is a private corporation, so they can do whatever the hell they want. They can ban you. They can do whatever the hell they want. You know what I'm saying? So in that respect, Naughty Dog could do whatever they want. But them doing that is a bad look, And the fact that they won all these awards on the video game awards makes me feel like the video game awards is like, okay. I mean, y'all didn't even mention what happened. Did you take into account what happened when this game released and all the leaks and all that stuff? Did you, Jeff Keighley, did you even, I'm just saying, that stuff makes me kind of like, and that's another thing. I'm like, yo, if Microsoft was pulling this stuff, I'd be like, yo, I'm out. Video games can kick rocks. I'm going to go over here, blink plank on the music, do some animations, screw video games. I remember when the Dreamcast, when they canceled the Dreamcast. And I was like, all right, that sucks. And I was depressed. I was like, oh man, Sega. And I stopped video games for like a year or two. I think it was about a year. I didn't have a console. I didn't have an Xbox. I waited till late to get an Xbox. I was like, and I got it because it was on sale. And they were like, I think they had just stopped making them or something or whatever. And they dropped the price. I was like, let me get one. Yeah, let me get it. So I wasn't, and then the 360 came out and I jumped back in. But I was fine with dropping video games because I was into music. I was into all other things, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's not that serious, but, stuff like that. And the thing is, like, I say it's not that serious, and it's not. And when stuff like that happens, when a giant corporation or one of its employees does this and abuses the systems, I'm like, why is this happening? This is not that serious. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's unfortunate that your game was leaked and the plot and stuff was leaked, but no, you don't mess with people's money like that. And that's where I'm like, okay, what if they did the same to you? Huh? And the fact that they did what they did, Naughty Dog, Muso Limited, when they did the banning all these channels on YouTube. And then the story is like, oh, there was mad returns on that game because people started playing it and they were like, oh, hell no. They got to that one part, and they're like, nope. And then you see all these pictures of all these games that aren't selling because everybody found out what was going on in that game and they didn't like it. Whatever. Going on a long-ass tangent and that stuff. Legend says you need to get you a Sony so you can get you the dark side. We got jacuzzis over here. I used to have a jacuzzi. They're good. They cost too much. They use up too much money. Man, my power bill was crazy with them jacuzzi, man. But I've blabbered long enough. Appreciate you hanging out. Legend, Kaijudo, of course, Bonds, everybody in chat. Pace. I hope you're feeling better, Pace. Doom Plague. Normie. By the way, you guys, tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Tomorrow is the 400th episode of Zombie Cast. So if you will, go to Zombie Cast. Well, listen to it tomorrow. Or if you go to, I believe, Normie's Twitter page, she has a phone number that you can call, leave a voicemail for them to congratulate them on their 400th. I think I'm going to do that either tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, if I remember. But everybody in all games, Pace, Alt, Arioka, Binary 667, Burr, Doom Plague, Malcolm Owen, MXT, Normie again, Shadow Next Gen, Spiffy, Tiger Claw, always there, Warham, Watch Dragon, and Wilco. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Yeah, that's all I have. Let's see what else we got here. I'm gonna put another song on here, and we will see you next time.